Alrighty, we're back with a new video today. Yeah, it's quite a very interesting one. So we're gonna talk about it today. And basically, it was me going to Canada, more specifically Ontario, the province of Ontario, to go to Toronto and Hamilton. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting talk today. No fursuit today, just audio, but I have a lot to show you. I have a lot of footage, a lot of photos I like to share. So yeah, let's get right into it. I'm very excited to share my journey. So, how can we start? Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and let's go here. So, it was a very long trip. It was about 4 days. I was 4 days, but on the very first day, I was actually traveling by bus. So I went from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, to Cleveland, then to Buffalo, and then it was Niagara, and then Hamilton. So all in one day. So can't wait to show it. So this was the very first day. This was on the Thursday, and just left the station. So this was around Ohio, and yeah. This was later on in the day. Ended up in Cleveland. This was about I want to say a 2-hour layover in Cleveland. So this is sort of like the area. I had enough time to go walk around with my camera and take pictures. So that's what I did. This was the Cleveland Browns Stadium, which was very interesting. I've never been to Cleveland, so this was my very first time going to. So that was very interesting to see the stadium and some of what Cleveland has to offer. I would go back to Cleveland, honestly. Would love to go back. This was the station in Cleveland, probably one of the worst places to be, honestly. It was very sketchy. Yeah, walking back to and from there, I had to like look over my shoulder the entire time. It was not good at all. But the second leg of the trip, it just kept getting better, basically. But this was from Cleveland to Buffalo on the same day. This was late in the afternoon, so this was about halfway through. This was Erie, Pennsylvania. And yeah. So let's try and get some audio. This is the Mariner. That's what up there. So 2 hours after that, I ended up in Buffalo, New York, and yeah. That was pretty cool to see. Buffalo was a very interesting city. I think in hindsight, I would have loved to spend more in Buffalo, for sure. Is this even recording? I'm not even sure this is recording. I would be very ashamed if it wasn't. Oh boy. Anyway, if anyone's still watching, please give a like and subscribe, and also let me know in the comment if you are from Canada, from Ontario, from Toronto, from Hamilton, wherever, or you're actually going to go visit Canada soon. So yeah, let me know in the comments. A little bit more of Buffalo. Again, this is the same day. It was quite the journey. At this point, it was like 4 p.m. I had been awake since 6 a.m., so I was pretty groggy and tired, but half of the day wasn't even finished yet. Yeah, so a little bit more Buffalo. Started getting through from Buffalo to Niagara, so again, same day, went to Niagara. So this was Niagara Falls on the US side. And you can see a little bit of the falls there. And that is Canada's side with all those buildings. That's the Canadian side, for those of you who don't know. This was us crossing the border on the bus. And here comes one of my favorite parts of the entire trip. There's no audio. There we go.
Oh wow. Oh, Charlie, look at that. Wow. Wow, that's beautiful.
And then after that, we ended up in the Canadian customs, so we had to do a lot of things. So let me tell you something about slideshow, did not mean to do that. Let me tell you something about Canadian customs, because they don't play around when it comes to running their country and making sure things are safe. So they had stepped me aside because I had walked out. I thought I was free to leave after being checked in. But the customs officer was walking towards me and he said, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I was like, What do you mean?" And he said, "How did you get into this country?" And I'm like, what do you mean? I came in by bus. And they were, they basically detained me and said, "Well, you have to go back to where you came, and you have to wait in the room with all the other people waiting for the bus." I said, "Why?" I said, "Why? I thought it was free." For those of you who don't know, I've been to Vancouver. So this was not my first time in Canada, but in Vancouver, I went through train. So when you go through train, you go through customs, and then you walk out the door and you're on the street. So that blew my mind that like in Niagara it was a lot more secure. I thought I was in the DMZ, demilitarized zone, for quite a bit. But yeah, wasn't fun at all. This was me, this was still me on the bus. This was where our final stop was. So this was like the final leg of the long day that I had from Pittsburgh to Niagara Falls, Canada. A lot of international people on that bus, by the way. And this is a little bit of the falls. I never seen anything like it, honestly. Never seen anything like it. The falls were majestic. I cannot describe it. Like, I cannot describe it. You have to go in person to really comprehend the magnitude, like the sheer size of the falls, never having seen anything like it. So it's very interesting. Again, Canadian side. A lot more buildings, a lot more architecture, a lot more international people. And by international, I mean a lot of people from other countries. On the US side, it was just mostly Americans, maybe some people from other countries, but it wasn't. I felt like, I really did feel like I was in a different country, because I was, but yeah. And then I met up with my friends, and by the way, my friends live in Canada, so I spent the weekend with them. So these friends that I'm talking about, I hung out with them most of the trip. But anyway, this was our way to Clifton Hill, still Niagara. And that's Clifton Hill in the background.
Outback steak.
It's me, Indian, just yeah. Don't play it again. Yeah, so have a lot more. Let me see if I can pull it up, because that was sort of like the end of the slideshow. So just give me a minute, and I'll get some other photos for you, because there's quite a ton. Yeah, so it was quite a long day, and I just could not fathom just like being able to spend 12 hours on the road, but I did, and I went through it, and I'm very surprised I was able to do it. It was quite baffling to me that I was able to do it, honestly. Yeah. I got some photos getting lined up for you so I can show it to everybody, so just hang tight because I think you want to see this. Okay, that's good for now. Okay. We'll go with that. Okay, so. And this is going to happen a lot in the video, by the way. So if you don't feel like waiting, I'm going to be putting timestamps in the video, so you can just skip to the next part of the video. But just going through as we do this. Okay, and we should be set. Okay. So this was Clifton Hill in Niagara Falls, Canada. It's a very touristy area, but you know, we saw a lot of the things. They have that's the casino right there. Very nice. And by the way, there was a fire apparently. Oh boy, what an introduction. That's the Ferris wheel, and that's the Tim Hortons, obviously. Something about Tim's, very great. Some of the best coffee I've ever had. Let me see, let me show it. That's an ice cap right there, and to me, that's the greatest coffee I've ever had in my life. You know, I swear, the best coffee I've had in my life, right there. And another thing I wish I had more in Canada was beaver tail, pastries basically. But yeah, different flavors. I just had the classic, so it was the cinnamon sugar. I wish, in hindsight, I wish I could have had the triple trip. It would have been interesting, or the cocoa vanille. It's very interesting, very interesting. Later that night, ended up in my Airbnb in Hamilton. It was a very long drive from Niagara, about 40 minutes. But here I was unpacking. It was very nice. It was an Indian family who hosted me, and they were very nice. Some more photos from earlier in the day. This was with my professional camera, so that's the American flag with the ship. Ship continued, and this was actually Niagara Falls at night with my professional camera. So with the night lens, you can't really see. There we go. So the falls lights up at night, so that's actually very, very neat, very nice. Yeah, let's see. Let me just get up some more photos for you, and again, just a lot of things. I think you're gonna like the next part for sure. Because that was all in one day that I did, from Pittsburgh to Cleveland to Buffalo to Niagara Falls, Canada. It was just so much to do, and I couldn't believe just how much I had gotten done in just one day. It's just unbelievable. Unbelievable, just like how much you could get done. So I finally had sleep. I didn't have much sleep because the next morning I had to get up to join my friends to go to Fan Expo. So it's basically a very, very big convention in Toronto, but managed to snag a little Tim Hortons souvenir for the return trip. This is also the Canadian dollar, so as you can see here, yeah, right there, that's 50, the 20, Queen Elizabeth II, $5 bill. I don't know any of these people on the other bills. Yeah, and then This was the GO train. This is a train that helped us get to Toronto. So this was it. This is how we got to Toronto. Very, very nice inside. It's a double decker, so upper and lower floors, and it was a very long trip.
So good.
The one guy from Resident Village who plays Heisenberg is gonna be at first.
Once we got there, we started walking around Toronto. That's the CN Tower. Very tall in person. And the photography doesn't do any justice. It is very tall. That's the convention center. So basically, it's like I said before, it's just a convention, and people just, they just hung out. I'm not sure what the photos are. I know I took more photos. Oh, okay. Here we go. Alright. So. Right here. Come on, play.
Yeah, it's a little different. Crazy. We were just talking about that.
Yeah, so. Oh, and here's Boba Fett. One of the highlights of the convention. Yeah, so that's Fan Expo, and very interesting. When we spent most of the time trying to find Funko Pops for my mates, so it was very interesting. Just we tried to look for a Leon S. Kennedy pop, and we could not find a single one. And I remember just in the day just saying to myself, we are not gonna find that bloody pop. And you're just there sort of like, there's just a lot of people, and that's the one thing I did not like of Fan Expo. It was just so many people at the convention. I've never been to a convention more crowded in my life than that. So yeah, more photos. Yeah, so let's see if I can get him up. A lot of clicking, aggressive clicking. So this is a bit more of Toronto. So CN Tower, this is the harbor side, so this is facing Lake Ontario. So very interesting. A lot we got done. A lot of Tims, by the way. We drank at that one specifically. Yeah, and that's another ice. Actually, I don't think that's the ice cap. That was the something. I think it was a double espresso with it was with some. It was kind of like boba tea, but coffee. And that's my camera right there. Anyway, we went through Toronto a bit more. This is the. I think this was the Union Station, but this is right next to the. How you say the. It's the Leafs Arena. I forget what it's called, off the top of my head. It's underneath it, a lot of shops, a lot of places. That's me in costume as Andor from Star Wars. That's A-Train from The Boys. Yeah, and this was us looking for a ride back to Hamilton. So that was something. And then let's see. It's a lot I did. I mean, so much that I did. I mean, it's just, I cannot tell you. I spent the whole day in Hamilton. In Toronto, just, yeah, just taking pictures. Just I'm trying to get more images for you. So just actually, you know what? I'm gonna do it this way. That way, I'm not wasting more time. I'm not wasting anybody's time. Because I don't. The least I want to do is waste everybody's time. So just give me just a second. Just bear with me. Just bear with me. Okay, so here we go. So this was later on at night at the in Hamilton. This was the very first Tim Hortons that was ever opened. This was in Hamilton. And yeah. Then we drove around. This is actually very interesting. So this is a cannabis shop, and unlike in the United States, cannabis is legal 100% in Canada. So you can smoke it, you can hold it, you can take it anywhere you want. You will not be arrested for you. You will not have criminal penalties against you for having cannabis. So that was very interesting. This is the Liquor Shop of Ontario, LCBO. We decided to get some alcohol for the night to go drinking. This was the cannabis store. So as you can see, a lot of cannabis objects, a lot of the vapes, the pipes. This was the store inside. Yeah, right here, pre-rolls. And I decided on a drink because I've never had a THC in a can, so that was very interesting. That was quite the experience. 3 milligrams of THC, 6 milligrams CBD. And this is one of my favorite fast food places of all time, A&W. I had some in Vancouver, and I've been itching to get another piece when I was in Ontario. So when I finally went back to Canada this year, I finally had A&W again, and it was great. Very nice. It's the menu. It's kind of like a mix between Burger King and I want to say Wendy's. It's kind of like a mix between Burger King and Wendy's. And if you eat in-house, they give you a mug, a glass to drink from. I do not have it there. I wish I did. And they sell poutine. For those of you who like poutine, they sell poutine. This was what I had. Something very small, something very simple. Some of the stuff I got from Fan Expo. What else? Okay, this was the camera that I had for Toronto. This was my professional camera, so just trying to skim through it. It's downtown. That's what it was called, Scotiabank. I'm not sure. Scotiabank. CN Tower right there. It's the Hockey Legends Union Station. That's the station to get back to Hamilton to and from. There's a Vader right there. That's the same picture I had before, but on my professional camera. That's the convention center, Canadian flag, cosplayers. Yeah, an American flag, Canadian city, by God. Fan Expo, that's Boston Pizza. We'll be eating there later. That's Fan Expo. That's a Helldiver. Two random people. I was testing my camera at the time. The same Boba Fett. Skybridge. It's not like the Skybridge in Midwest Fest, not at all. There's a Batman down there. Deadpool, you can see a Raven there. Yeah, a lot. Michael Myers, Sune. An actual furry, by the way. I didn't think I would run into one at Fan Expo, but I did. Some other stuff. They had an advertisement for Borderlands for the movie. I hear it's not very good. Scream. What else? This was one of my favorite photos I took. Some League gamers. Yeah, and there was actually a tournament going on. Bell is the internet service provider in Ontario, by the way. Yeah, swords, Lethal Company costume, Zelda, Batman, Michael Keaton, another furry. I know this furry. I don't know their name, but I know who they are, and it bugged me that I couldn't ask them. I was kind of in a rush, but yeah. Leon and Ada. I think these are furries. I really don't want to say they are, but Ash Ketchum, and yeah. And then we walked around the city, like I said before. This is the harbor side in Toronto and Lake Ontario. Took photos with my super lens. That's a better focus. Random seagull. Ship, that's a yacht. Someone had their birthday on the yacht. Well, they fell in love. Who knows? Anti-fascist. That's Italian. Yeah. So, very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. That was Friday. Still a lot to be done. There's just so many pictures, so many videos I've taken. It's quite unbelievable just how much I've taken. I mean, jeez. Right here we got more. This was the outside of my Airbnb. This was where I was more or less in Hamilton. We drove around Hamilton. Saturday was more of just us in Hamilton, basically the entire day. Hudson's Bay is very similar to JCPenney, to Macy's. It's been around for a very long time. This is the Lime Ridge Mall. So Lime Ridge Mall in Hamilton. We do not have this in the States, Miniso. Yeah, very nice inside. And I decided to get a Maple Leafs hat. Roots is very interesting. So I was told that Roots is a very expensive store in Canada, and I just had to buy something, so I did, because we don't have Roots in the States. So yeah, a little bit more of the mall, shopping center, Rogers, food court. I bought this souvenir, and I also bought a lens. I was there. I said, why not? They have a camera store, and they had a camera lens on discount for 200 Canadian dollars, which is like 160 US dollars. So I said, go for it. So I did. So yeah. You only live once, right? You only live once. Oh my goodness. You only live once, you know. Just, what else? What else do we have? Just went around. I don't remember what this place is called. It's called something Italian sounding, I might add. But yeah, just went around, bought a few things. A lot of these things are Canadian, of course, so you won't find these in the States.
Get out of the way, white car. Get out of the fucking way.
That's gonna get
They
flagged.
kicked me out of it.
That's gonna get flagged. But that was a Toys R Us, and for those of you who don't know, there's still a Toys R Us in Canada. In the United States, they closed it down. Yeah, so This is McDonald's in Canada. So interesting. I bought a Cuban cigar. So also another fun trivia. You cannot bring a Cuban cigar or distribute it in the United States. So we do not have Cuban cigars in the United States. You cannot buy them. So when I was in Hamilton, I found a Cuban cigar and I decided to buy it and smoke it later that night. So yeah, Indigo is like a Barnes and Noble for the States for you Americans. This was a hockey store. This was a first for me because we don't really have a hockey store. But yeah, very interesting. Yeah. We spent the day just going around Hamilton. Just me and the boys just going around. just going about all day, I guess. Just showing me around. So there's a lot more. It gets better because this is all in the same day what I'm about to show you. So yeah, let's switch back. Okay, so we were going around, and by the way, Tim Hortons, very nice on the outside. I wish Dunkin' Donuts was like that, but it's not. It's the countryside. A lot of cursing in some of these videos. I apologize. I do not want to get flagged. But yeah, very scenic route. Just going around. I decided to do a few shots while I was in the car, so I did this. I'm not sure if it turned out right, but we're about to find out. Yeah, look at that. Yeah. So this is called the Devil's Punch Bowl. This is, I guess, a tourist area for Hamilton, in Hamilton. So they took me to this area. Big cross there, just out of nowhere. But this is where things get interesting. This is a cliff, and you get to see all of Hamilton from this overlook. And it was sunset, and it was absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely divine. Look at that. And if you could see in the distance, that is Hamilton. That's downtown. And just selfies. Yeah. There's a picture of the cross, sunset. I took plenty of shots just in case. Now this is a Devil's Punch Bowl. This is what everybody's talking about. Like, why is it a Devil's Punch Bowl? And that's what it is. So that's it. That's it. That's the Devil's Punch Bowl. What more do I have? And I know I have a DSLR, so bear in mind that a lot of the shots that I'm showing you are actually piss off. Let's see if I can show you. Alright, so right here, Scotiabank, Canadian Tire. We're just driving around at this point, just going about our day. This is Boston Pizza. So a little trivia for Boston Pizza. So these friends that I've known for years, they worked at this Boston Pizza, and we decided to go and eat there for the night. And yeah, it was kind of like a big thing to go eat there and just to have food, and it was okay. That's mine, of course. And yeah. Pizza. Later that night, we decided to have a drink out and decided to smoke my cigar, my Cuban cigar. So that was very interesting. Best cigar I've ever had in my life. Right there. Oh boy. So this is the, how you say, this is the mall. This is the professional camera now. So yeah. It's a little crooked. I was kind of in a rush, so a lot of this might be out of focus. Oh yeah, and the new lens that I bought at the mall, I decided to test it out, and look how it came. These are micro lenses, so you're able to really capture like the sort of minuscule aspects of life, and it's great. I still have to work on it, but I decided to, give it a try, give it a go, and yeah. But notice the difference. You can't really do this with a regular phone, but yeah. So here's my telescope lens, so I'll be able to like zoom out and show just like how close and how far everything is. But that's Hamilton, as you can see, downtown. Plants, everything, sunset. Yeah, that's pretty much it for that. My golly, what else? What else? Okay, so let's see. What else do we have? What else do we have? Okay, so this was Sunday. This was the last day, technically, of me being in Canada. But I decided to walk to the stop. So this was about a 16-minute walk from my Airbnb to the bus stop. Very scenic. Wow. I didn't feel like it didn't feel like the United States. This is like very clean and crisp neighborhood. It's like one of those picturesque, like perfect places that you imagine to have in your life that is just like perfect. Anyway, this was me on the bus on my way to downtown Hamilton to meet up with friends. This is Hamilton. Yeah. I don't know what building that is. National Railways. That's what it is, I guess. This is the train station to the ghost stop. We had to wait quite a bit, about 45 minutes for the train to arrive. So we decided to go to the waterfront trail. Oh my goodness. A lot of cursing in these videos, so I apologize. This is one of my favorite photos of the entire trip. Just that photo. I absolutely love it. Yeah, very scenic, very beautiful. Canadian geese. They're very aggressive. See that one? That one's looking at me like it wants to attack. So we started making our way back, and let's see if I can get it up again. It's a lot. It's a lot to digest. I did so much. I mean, there's so much to do, and that's the good thing, right? It would have been such a bummer to just like not be able to do anything that trip. So very thankful that I was able to do what I did. So, but this is a train arriving. Let me just speed it up. Yeah, it's very, very nice. If you ask me, it's one of the best rides I've ever had on a train. And Canadian Olympics, Team Canada. Was on our way back to Toronto because we decided to just go spend a day in Toronto. Because why not? So this is back to Union Station, and we're back in Toronto on Sunday. We were on our way to the Hockey Hall of Fame, so here it is. This was the entrance, and what else do I have? What else do I have here? Let me see. Right. Yeah, so this is Hockey Hall of Fame. Roots, another Roots store. Another Tim Hortons. They're everywhere. Very nice atrium.
Or it's
Reminding me of Willy Wonka's factory. Here's the Hockey Hall of Fame. A lot to see inside. Pittsburgh Penguins. It's Cortana. I don't know what Cortana's doing in the Hockey Hall of Fame, but there she is. Just the different jerseys, different things you can see. The Tim Hortons Theater. We didn't really watch anything. We kind of skimmed it through. They were about to close, so we had to like. Why is this horizontal? And then, yeah, just all hockey things. And then this is the way to the Stanley Cup trophy. So, right here. There it is. The Stanley Cup trophy. In all its glory. Some say it's like the Holy Grail. Something you'd never want to touch if you're in Canada. You'll be cursed or something. Souvenirs. So, bought some. That was me right next to the trophy. And yeah, that's Hockey Hall of Fame. Wow, we've been doing all this for 43 minutes. Wow. For those of you watching, let me know in the comments if you are Canadian or you live in Toronto, Hamilton, or if you are going to visit Canada soon. Drop me a like because I would like to know if you are. So, yeah. So we're almost done with our little video. So just bear with me. So just give me a second. Sort of just trying to get all the images together again. It's very difficult. It is very, very, very difficult. Okay, so we're back. More of Toronto. And this is City Hall, one of my favorite spots to visit when I was in Toronto. And there it is, in all its might and glory, the City Hall of Toronto. A little trivia. So if you ever watched Resident Evil Apocalypse, which is the movie, that's actually one of the locations in the movie. They filmed a lot of that movie in Toronto and Hamilton, so that was very interesting. So yeah, City Hall. Took several photos, of course, and something you gotta know about Toronto. Okay, it is big. It is ginormous. The sheer size of it, I think it's much bigger than New York City, because I've never seen so many people, so many buildings. Yeah, it was quite something. It's a lot more. It's a lot more of a melting pot than New York City too. I didn't. What I love about Toronto is that it's like so many people from different walks of life. So we started making our way back to the station. Subway, we don't go there. This was interesting.
Carnegie Hall.
It's not Carnegie Hall. I don't know what I was smoking at the time. CN Tower. It's the highlight of Toronto, as you can see. And this was on our way back. I had some ramen. Decided to have it. Yeah. And that was it for that. So, yeah. And what else? What else? That final leg of the night on Sunday, I think, what was it? We went to downtown Hamilton to go eat, and then we went to we left after that, I think. Yeah, so we left after that. So yeah, so this was Hamilton at night. So me and my friends started making our way to downtown. Got some Tims. It's very dangerous. They weren't kidding when they said downtown Hamilton at night is like Detroit. Nice mall though. Very nice. Very empty though. Very, very, very empty. Actually quite unsettling, if I may say so myself. Another Tim Hortons. If you're noticing a pattern here. That's the bus station.
Right. This is definitely.
That's what we used on the way back to from Hamilton. So we met up with another friend. We made our way to eat in this restaurant. The tacos were very good. I liked them. I thought they were great. I really thought they were great. After that, we went. We said goodbye to one of our friends, and then I followed one to the house to hang out for a while before going back to my room. This is professional photo camera again. A little bit of that higher quality, as you can see, more depth of field. Some cosplayers from Fan Expo that same day on Sunday. There's the Hockey Hall of Fame. This is the store. Here's the Hockey Hall of Fame. Just some of the pictures I took with my other camera. I did not know that the Soviet Union had a hockey team. That blows my mind. And North Korea too. Baffling. Some more stuff. Yeah, just so much to see, and we had to like rush through it. That is definitely a furry. That's not a mascot costume. That is definitely a fursuit. Oh, it's definitely a fursuit, I tell you. Stanley Cup. So this is with the professional camera. There it is. Look at that. And then that's the Stanley Vault. Very first Stanley Cup. And yeah. So that was Sunday. Yeah. Just Sunday. Did a lot that day. I was exhausted. Spend the night just trying to get myself together, get some sleep for the final day, which was the day I left, which is here. That's a black squirrel, by the way. I've never seen one before. I was like, it was majestic, like something out of a movie. And they're big too. They're very big. Yeah, made my way to the bus station, train station. So something interesting about the train station, because this is actually quite nerve-wracking to say the least, is that we waited for 40 minutes. And finally, when the train was supposed to be at the station at West Harbour, it was cancelled. And it was cancelled because there's been a lot of protests from the rail workers. So they shut down the whole train system. And it was just like nerve-wracking because I had to make my way to the airport that day. And I had woken up at 8 o'clock in the morning to get to the airport. And I was still in Hamilton at 10:40. So I got very nervous and I decided I was going to call an Uber. I could not take a train because a train would have to go to Toronto, and then from Toronto I would have taken another train to get to the airport, and I would have been late to my flight. So I said, screw it, I'm going to pay $60 for an Uber, and I did that. $60 in Canadian, of course. But yeah, so the airport in all its beauty. Went to the American Gate. I decided to buy this bottle because I liked it. Yeah, so after I went through American Customs, I had everything situated. I was at my gate. Walked around for a bit. I had plenty of time since I took an Uber. So, took some photos. The currencies of the world, ladies and gentlemen. It's great to see the euro being more expensive than the American dollar again. Yeah. So, decided to have Tim Hortons one last time before I left. So, before I did, however, I decided to go eat. So, I ate at this airport restaurant. And that's what I read about while I was waiting for my food. This is gnocchi with bacon and ham, I think it was. Very nice, it was great. Very expensive though. Sat down for a couple of minutes and then I got my Tims. This was the last Tims I would have for a very long time. This is the ice cap, so I enjoyed it. And that's Timbits. Those are the little, they're like munchkins for you Americans at Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah. Called my flight, went on the plane. Heard the announcement. Oh, and by the way, something you should know. They were speaking French, and I loved it. Take off.
Skills are available for $5. It can be purchased using your credit card. Thanks.
Yeah, on my way home on Air Canada. A very short flight. It was 45 minutes, so I left Canada at 2:30 p.m. and I got to Pittsburgh basically at 3:30. And there's Pittsburgh. That's downtown. We landed, and that was it. That was the trip. Oh man, it was a lot. I mean, bloody hell! Talk about a trip. Talk about a bloody trip. But yeah, that was my trip to Canada. I did so much. I mean, I can't believe it. I mean, I did so much in 4 days, but there were still a lot of things that I missed, you know. So, but this is sort of like what I got from the trip, as you can see. This is some of the items I got from Canada. Some shot glasses. I got a American Canadian pin. This is the Cuban cigar. I didn't bring the cigar with me. I only brought the capsule. That's maple syrup. That's a golf ball from the Hockey Hall of Fame. A shot glass from the Hockey Hall of Fame. That blue shot glass is from Niagara. That other shot glass is from Canada. Well, it says Canada. Tim Hortons coffee. Niagara Falls hat. And then the Leafs hat is right underneath it. I got a sticker with that. As well as several other patches to put on my bag to sew on. I got that bottle, Canadian bottle. I got a small Canadian flag. I got mittens from Canada. Some Canadian chocolate. And a Tim Hortons flask. And a shirt from Roots from Canada. So, yeah, that was a lot of money I spent. Anyway, I rambled on enough. I think I'm gonna wrap it up. But yeah, it's just a lot I did. I can't. What was that? I mean, it's just a lot that I did. I mean, I can't believe I went through all that in such a short amount of time. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I should be making a more professional video on Canada later on in the week. So I'm gonna edit a few clips together, sort of very similar to how I used to make videos on this channel. So yeah, keep up to date with that, because I'll have that sometime this week or next week. But if you enjoyed, please make sure to like and subscribe, and yeah, comment down below. Let me know if you're from Canada or you're going to visit Canada. So anyways, everyone, it's been very great. So it's been a long show. So I'm gonna leave you be. You're no longer my prisoners. Okay, have a good night, everyone. Take care. Bye. Take care.